Hey, it's Panzerkunst here, and in this video I want to try to show how you could use the rudder to make your aircraft drift or slide turn. So basically, if you want to try this, the first thing you need to do, go to settings, con controls, advanced settings, turn off rate of roll, turn off level off rate, and turn off automatic flaps. So that way you control every aspect of your aircraft. The game won't adjust anything for you. And then for flight, I assign Q to yaw to the right and E to yaw to the left. So it's very hard to explain, but I just want to show it in the training room. I'm gonna do a loop, and I'm gonna have a timer so you can see how long it takes. And then when I use the rudder and pitch up, you'll see I'm able to turn just a second quicker, and you can apply this to dogfights. So without talking too much, I just want to get into the training room and show you that clip. Alright, so I'm in the training room to show what the basic maneuvers look like. So without doing anything else, I'm just going to put flaps on and I'm going to hit pitch up, nothing else. So I have pitch up on my mouse and it just does a simple turn like this, right? Simple loop, nothing special. But if I use rudder to the right, it does a flat turn like this. If I do rudder to the left, it does a flat turn. And let's see what happens if I combine pitch up and rudder. So I'm gonna combine pitch up and rudder right here. Let's see what happens.
Receiving reports about rapidly deteriorating weather conditions.
So you see how it does a diagonal turn?
Do you read me? Over.
This is what you can use to cut into an opponent's turn that's slightly more maneuverable than you. If you're going up against a Spitfire with this, you know, it's still going to be able to outturn you, but just a basic maneuver you can do. Alright, so you saw how doing a basic loop took me about 9 seconds, and when I included the rudder, I was able to make a sharper turn, and I was able to turn in 8 seconds. So I chose these two aircraft because I think there's a correlation between the size of the rudder and how much input it gives you. So the bigger the rudder, the more you can turn like this. And watching other videos like from the player I have mentioned before, Came Invictus, I just basically try to copy what he did. Nobody has ever told me this is what you do. I asked him a question and he said he uses the mouse to control the yaw. So by trial and error, I just tried to copy it, how it looks, and I was able to do some of to get pretty close to it. I still don't know how he does some of the things he does, but now using this aircraft, I'm gonna go into a battle, a training room, so you can see the dogfight I had to try to use that to your advantage as well. Well, you can clearly see I can't get my nose around to fire at him. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna activate yaw to slice into his turn, and as you'll see, I'm gonna use yaw and pitch up, and then I'm going at a downward angle. I'm slicing into his turn, and he's doing the same thing. And when you slice, you can use boost. I'm using yaw and boost. And I'm going to be cutting into his turn right here. See that? See how I got my nose around now? Ah, I get crit, of course. But now I can go on the offensive. Okay, scissors here. Just using the mouse and flaps, I can't get on his tail. I'm gonna make it to a one-turn fight. Okay, this is what I want to show. A lot of times you're in this position, right? And you see he's gonna fire at me, but I can't get my nose on him. No matter how much I try, I can't. So I'm gonna use yaw and rudder, and I'm gonna cut into his turn like this. You see how I'm going at a downward angle? I'm cutting into his turn. I'm using yaw, and as you can see, my nose, I'm getting a little closer. Now when you're doing this, add in boost, pitch up a little bit, and you can even cut even more. Now I'm making this into a 3D fight. Use boost, brake on the way down. Rudder, yaw. Oh, now he's turning the other way. Rudder, yaw. Now he's coming around. Boost, pitch up, and yaw. And I'm trying to get on his side here. Trying to cut into his turn. Yeah, I'm angling down. When I angle up, look at that. I'm almost in range. And there you go. So from before, I couldn't fight him at all. And now I'm in a position to get my nose on him. See that? And this is all just by using rudder and pitch up.
Pilots, we are losing the initiative.
Okay, I got his attention, and now I want to gauge in a turn fight. He's gonna do a scissors maneuver, but I want to keep it at one turn so I can show you. Alright, so we're in a turn fight, typical turn fight here. If I keep doing this, I won't be able to get my nose on him. Okay, I can get one shot there, but he can out-turn me. So if I keep it like this, see, I couldn't get my nose there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna activate the rudder, cut downward, and then pitch up at the same time. And now I'm evening the odds. Rudder, and now I'm in a better position. See that? I'm using rudder to come over, and look at that. I'm turning downward, and now he's going the other way, so I'll turn the other way.
About rapidly deteriorating weather conditions.
Oh, I messed up a little bit right there.
Will be unable to reach you. Do you read me? Over.
I'm using the rudder to cut and make a sharper turn. So now we're back even. Rudder to point down, and then pitch up. Same thing. Rudder down, pitch up. And look at this. Look who has the advantage now. Alright, here's my keyboard. And like I had mentioned, Q I assigned to yaw right, and E I assigned to yaw left. And the idea is if you put your fingers on the keyboard, you use W to boost, D to turn to the right, but it's hard to, you can't really hit W, E, and D at the same time. So I assigned yaw right to Q. So if I'm turning right, I hit the boost with my middle, I adjust the bank with D, and with my ring finger, I use yaw to turn to the right. All at the same time using pitch up on my mouse, which is assigned to this key. So I'm doing 4 things at once. If I'm going to go to the left, middle finger on boost, ring finger on A to bank to the left, and I've used my index finger to go up to E. And I was doing this and it worked for a little bit, but then I came across a guy in a Hunter, and he was able to just toy with me. He was able to drift, and I was in a ME, the tier 9 German light fighter, and I could not get on his tail. He was just able to drift. So when that happened, I knew there was something more I can do. So what I did is I bought this, the Razer Tartarus V2, and it frees up a lot so I can do different things. So I assigned this little joystick here to yaw left and yaw right. So now my thumb controls yaw. So my middle finger controls boost or brakes, and now my ring finger and index, they both can control the ailerons or bank. So I can make the turn tighter, like a right turn with D, or make it looser going A. I can hit, and all the while I'm hitting pitch up with my mouse. And I assign different keys just to make it easier for me here. But this is the key thing that was the game changer. Assigning yaw to your thumb, which you can't do on a normal keyboard. It opens up a lot more things, and it doesn't come into play every single time. It's not gonna, like, if you're in a BF-109, you still can't kill a Spitfire. But if there's something slightly more maneuverable than you, you can definitely get the edge with a setup with something like this. So in conclusion, I'm just gonna have this playing in the background so you can see those drift turns. If you just want to use the mouse and keyboard setup and just kind of do what you're doing, then I don't recommend trying to mess with your settings to do this. Because when I switched over, it took a little bit of time to get used to it. I had to erase my muscle memory. And then even when you can do it in the training room to try to apply it to a battle, uh, I died sometimes where if I would have just did the normal controls, I would have survived. So there's a kind of a grace period. But just check out this turn. You pull to the right, you use the rudder, you use the boost and pitch up, and you kind of whip your aircraft around. This kind of stuff is useful to attack ground targets, so you can make more passes in less time. So that is useful, but you could also use it to just turn around at any point in the battle. Let's say if you want to turn around quickly, there's someone following you, whip the aircraft around, and you can kind of use stuff like this. And I'm no expert at this. I just copied from what I saw other people do, but I wish some of those players would make a video like this to show exactly what they're doing, because I would love to know. And I think the more people know how to do things in this game, I think it's better overall for the game. So anyway, that was it for this video. I'll see you guys next time.